Antarctica is honestly my favorite continent. Now, that would sound weird to an average person because it's not necessarily habitable. It's the coldest place in the world with the lowest temperature ever recorded being in that location. It's not home to anyone, it's for everyone. Of course, there are some countries that are closer, right, who can lay certain levels of claim, as it were. But no one has full, total sovereign control over that place. It's managed by a treaty with some nations, if not every other nation invited. But the reason why Antarctica is my favorite place amongst all the continents is because it has become the greatest measurement of how humanity, especially in the last 150 years, have not stewarded the earth right. Industrial revolution was sponsored by several things, right? Humanity wanted efficiency, humanity wanted ease, expansion, growth, but some aspect of all of that expansion and acceleration was not done well. We began to use Earth's resources in a way that released more carbon, right, into the atmosphere than in any other time in the last thousands of years. And honestly, if certain researchers and scientists did not discover that the ozone layer over Antarctica was depleting and that the ice that holds 70% of the world's water supply, you can imagine all of that melting at once, that it was melting slowly. And things had to be done. Some things were banned, and there are still some things that are underway presently with the United Nations and other, let's just call them climate-friendly organizations, both government-backed and NGOs and research labs, warning humanity and saying, listen, we know that you like fossil fuels. We know that these fossil fuels have helped you to drive so much advancement across the world, but it is affecting the earth. Now, this is not a climate change video. Even I would have gone into the several details of what man has done, and you can research that, right? And how a lot of the things we've done have negatively impacted or is on the way. We're already seeing the consequences. But rather, this episode is geared towards inspiring you to study Antarctica, right? And to one day even dream of going there, especially as a researcher. You can go there as a tourist, but especially as a researcher. Or even better, letting your impact reach there. Sea levels are rising across the world. And it's honestly sad when I look at the data, right? One of the consequences of some of our actions over the last 150 years is that cities, coastal cities, right, that have boundaries with the sea, they are at very high risk. When you look at Africa, you look at Asia, you look at North America, you look at several countries across the world, there are so many countries, so many cities that have coastal boundaries. And so they are at risk, right? And so this is honestly an encouragement, because a lot of work is happening right now. But it's an encouragement, especially to builders that build cities, right? So if you're an architect, you're any form of engineer, civil engineer, whatever form of engineer, right, that contributes to building cities, building houses, just setting up anything where humans live in. We have a lot of work to do. You have a lot of work to do. If you're an architect, if you have ever found yourself in any level, right, in the work chain of helping people live in structures, shelter, or any form of, whether they are skyscrapers or they are simple bungalows, we have a lot of work to do. By now, especially if you work and live in a city, coastal city, right? So Lagos, for example, Accra, for example, Miami, right? Several cities across the world. You just check in your continent what cities we need to begin to prepare for water levels that are rising, right? We need to begin to prepare for possible impact. When you look at some of the hurricanes, for example, that happen in America, most times the best option is just evacuation, right? That's the best option. People have to evacuate. People lose millions and millions of dollars. We have to come together and begin to think. I know that some of that is happening. If you check, if you research, you see that there are some technical organizations, private organizations also, that are preparing for the impact we are going to see decades to come, right? So Study about Antarctica. Look at the timeline that has been postulated for some part of the ice glaciers melting that has been predicted. Antarctica is the oldest library in the world. The oldest library in the world. It has trapped oxygen, trapped biological and chemical organisms and life forms. Super surprising to have survived in such an environment where they should not be able to survive. And so, for us builders, we cannot afford to build solely the way building has been done in the last 150 years, right? We have to build the same way that when you have a powerful compute system, you have a network, you want to secure it, right? We have to build to scale, to become more efficient, to have ease in society, and build to redeem, to regenerate, right? To bring back certain things that have depleted, like the ozone layer, like the ocean is warmer than it used to be. These natural entities, let me call them entities, right? The Amazon forest, the oceans that we have, they are carbon sinks. They have helped us to absorb a lot of the carbon in the environment. So we need to protect them. We need to build to protect them. And it is the duty of everyone in the world, not just the people who are closest to Antarctica or Greenland. It is the duty of everyone in the world to begin to build in such a way that we can redeem, regenerate, preserve this carbon sinks that is helping to balance the CO2 in the atmosphere. So I hope that today you're going to research about Antarctica, maybe look at Greenland also, and look at the different oceans that we have and how they are helping to balance out the CO2 in the environment, balance out the carbon in the environment,